Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the South Bay Syndicate. We are in full prep mode for the Milwaukee Regional, where on the Friday we will be entering the sealed event. So we thought it'd be fun to do a video practicing what it would look like to build out a sealed deck and then a draft deck if we're able to make it to day 2 and 3. There are a couple of great sites out there that you can mess around with if you want to practice for this. Force Table is one, and then SWU Draft Sim is another. You can see we're kind of messing around with the deck here. The other great thing about SWU Draft Sim is you can copy the JSON and then create a deck right onto SWUDB. And if you have friends practicing with, you guys can play on Carabas. There's a setting to allow you to play with 30 card decks. So just something really fun you can check out there. So let's jump in right now and let's do a sealed. You click on it here. You can select the set. For this, we're going to do Secrets of Power and just do a regular one. We'll go ahead and open our packs and see what we have. We have our 6 packs to build our deck with. We get a rare leader to start, which is fun. I think Sabe could be very disruptive when you're only playing 30 cards. Being able to filter their deck out when there's a good chance there are specific cards they really want to see and other cards that are just filler. So Sabe could be an amazing leader there. As we look at this pack, uh, too early to really build anything out, but you can see we have a couple of red 3-drops. We have some support in space and then a bigger official there. So already looking pretty good for Sabe. We also like a Space Sentinel just as something in limited. We open our second pack. We got Sly Moore, another leader we play a lot. So now we have Cunning Hero and Villain. So hopefully we're getting a lot of Cunning cards throughout these packs that we can give ourselves some options. Crucible could be nice here. Imperial Dark Trooper is one of your better turn ones. So the villain side is looking okay as well. And pack number 3, we have Yularen. Yularen is probably the best villain card you can get here. Just the action economy is really strong. Unveiled Might is a nice pairing with it. Sudden Ferocity is a great card overall. And then we do see we get a Bail Organa, which could support our Sabe deck very nicely, although discarding for you is also rough at times. So really shaping up, I think, to either be Hero Cunning or Green Villain. Oh, we have DJ here. That's a leader you probably never use. It's just this double aspect. Yes, we got the Libertine with it, which is a nice synergy there, but otherwise, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. We do get some red support here. This can be powerful. Another Unveiled Might. Anytime you can have a Sentinel, I think in limited it can be good. And then another decent yellow 5-drop. And that can be either side. Pack 5, we have Dedra. So we got actually some really nice synergies with Dedra, right? You got Cyril, got another hunting assassin droid. The Gonk droid can be good in any deck. And we have a Faith in Your Friends, which is interesting. If we have enough hero yellow, we can see another one here and another here. And even Marva can be used. So our final pack, let's see what we get. We got Mon Mothma, which I think opens up a whole slew of cards on the hero side. We also have some more support for Sly with Lurking Snub and Garindadin, Screeching Tie. On the hero side, we do get a blue ace and a Bravo, so some nice space there. So there's your 6 packs. So then what happens is you go and you look to build your deck. They want you to choose a leader to start. Normally you wouldn't have to do that, but let's do Sabe first. And then in your view here, I like to change it to see the images. I think that I don't know yet which color supports this, so let's start with red just to see what we have, right? So we switch it to red, and now it's just going to show us the red card. So nice top end with Callus, a 3-drop, a lot of 3, a Sentinel here that can go on either side. A lot of 3-drops, a lot of strong 3, but what about 2-drops? Because you need a first turn. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of them, not very strong. Then we go on the space side. We've got another 2. So 6 total first turn plays, one of them being a 1-drop. Probably not great, although we do love a lot of the top end that we got here. We look at some of the events. Seeing Suspicion and Sudden Ferocity can come out with Sabe's deploy, making it very powerful. And then on this side, we got Let's Call It War. Faith in Your Friends could be another 2 drop, which could really help us out if we feel like we have enough cards to support it. Charge with Espionage, take something out of your opponent's hand. Wrong Ride to disrupt their turn. So some decent things here, but let's look back again to see if we have enough. When we want to play Faith in Your Friends, we have 1, 2, 2 1-drops that also activate it. 3 1-drops. Okay, the ship is there too. So you're starting to see that this could look okay. But let's just see what our other colors look like. So we switch to green base. On this side, we have the Gonk Droid as an additional 2-drop. And then also the Senator here. And we have the Shadow Crawler, which can be powerful. So then you introduce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 2-drop possibilities. You have 2 Crucibles, which can be very strong, right, to boost everything you're trying to do. And then on this side, we have the Unveiled Might. You might still bring in a Sudden Ferocity because it could be strong for 5. And then on this side, we have Given Officials. I don't think that will be relevant. With Thunderous Applause could be if you need that extra boost. And then Ground Unit and a Space Unit, draw 2 cards. We sure pulled a lot of those. So I do think there is something here if we were thinking about how to build this out. We have a nice 2 and 3-drop curve, not as strong as we had on the red side. On 4, we just have the commission here. And that's it for that. And so on 4, we're looking at space. We have 2 space units, so we'd definitely be thinking about space on that side of it. And then maybe taking advantage of one of these, not the Dismantling the Conspiracy. Although that could be a good game ender if we were looking at it. Any number of enemy non-leader units with a total of 7 or less. So that could be a super interesting card. On the blue side, let's check there. I don't remember seeing. We have a 3. We have our Sentinel. We have this guy, which can be a menace in limited, where he doesn't take damage the first time. Yeah, so as I'm looking at the blue, probably not for the hero side, although Retaliation is one of the best cards, I think, for removal. It might be the only real removal in the deck, so something to think about if we're going to need that. But here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 total 1-drops, so I don't think that's going to be possible. I think we run into the same issue if we wanted to run Cunning, right? Because we don't add any more drops. So I think if we were going to run Sabe, it would be either red, where I think we saw a nice curve from 3. Again, skipping 4. 4 is not as strong. Into 5 and up, where we feel much stronger, and we have some nice plot cards as well. I think green was the other option, where we felt like the Gonk Droid could be pretty handy to help us skip past that 4 when we need it. But that's kind of what Sabe looks like. Let's go there. We're gonna repick our leader to build our deck. I think what we'll look at is Sly. We'll start with changing it to this view. We'll start with red. And so on this side, we have some interesting cards, right? We have the ISB agent, Grindadin, which might be a little tougher, but we did get the Searle. We have a couple of 1-drops. The Viper Probe Droid can be strong. And we still have the same 5 to 6 strong curve with Vel, the Walker, the Trade Delegate. Trade Delegate giving you 2 spy tokens helps you with activation on what Sly is trying to do. We still have our Sentinel at 4, and then our 3 drops here. When we go into space, we have another plot, another 1-drop, and a couple of 3 drops in space. The same pieces here to boost. And then we still get the Let's Call It War. We get the do 2 damage to a non-vehicle, which can be very powerful here. So some interesting choices, I think, on the red side. But let's count our turn 1 plays. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So decently healthy. a lot of one drops within there. Let's see what green looks like. And this will also give us an idea with Yularen. So the green looks pretty strong with Gonk already, and the Imperial Dark Trooper. And then we do have the Ambusher. So I do like some of these pieces, decent size, 5 costs and 7. We're thinking about this not only from the side of Sly, but also could it make sense for Yularen? And then I think here we're very strong with the Crucible and Space Sentinel, healing. So green looks pretty good here. And we have the Unveiled Mites. And the official token could be more relevant for the villain side. So let's look at blue. Oh, sorry. Before we look at blue, let's go back and count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 possibility, 11 possibilities for one. So definitely can think about how to build out there. And then on the blue villain side, we bring in the Death Trooper, we bring in the Senate Guard, this guy, and then a Space Sentinel. So actually think I really like the green villain side is probably our strongest, but what I want to understand is it stronger with Yularen because Yularen could be red and his attack piece. So let's look at Yularen red real quick. We've got some great 3-drops. We still only have 1 4-drop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1-drops or 6 first turn. Maybe 7 here. So the first turn is still not as strong as we'd like, but the space is decent. These plot attachments are really strong and can do some work. And then we do get Let's Call It War and Contempt of Culture, so a couple ways to damage units. And then the red is really bringing in Cyril, the 2 3-drops here. The space unit doesn't really matter, and the Sudden Ferocity. So it actually might be, let's look at the yellow one again. And let's look at our 3. I think it's actually lacking there. We have just the Inspiring Senator into the Lurking Snub and the ISB shuttle, so not a lot there. So I think it's the Sabe or Yularen red or Sly. So let's build this one out. So let's start with our 2 drops, right? Got our Gonk, Dark Trooper, which we really like there. Cyril, we're not going to get to disclose a lot. The Viper Probe Droid here. And then we have this guy, but that's so 6 total turn 1s is not great if we're thinking about what we want to do, but it's okay percentage, 6 out of 30. Oh, we can actually add 1 here, so there's 7. And then our 3 drops, we have 1. We have 2 of these, which is nice. So there's 3 3-drops on the ground, and then 2 more in space, 3 more in space. So there's 6. So there's a decent 3-drop curve. Into our 4s, we have 1. We have 1. Okay, so we have a second one here, and then our 5s. I think we have this big guy. So 1 5. So it ends up being a pretty space heavy on the top end, which could be okay. I think you can finish off your opponent there. We have the worm as well. So a somewhat decent curve as we go through it. And then we can look at here. We want the Sudden Ferocity, the Unveiled Mites, this as a attachment to give us spy token. And then I think here we don't have a lot of officials, is what it ended up with, but we do like Let's Call It War, and here where we can do some damage. And I think the last one to fill out our deck as we look through it. Is there anything out of aspect we want? Let's check on the. Let's check on the event side. Like, is there a Beguile, for example, which would be a great card to add in? No. Okay, but what about an upgrade side? I don't think so. Space would be too much. I think one thing we could think about is the Garindin. We could plot it out and name a card. So let's do that actually. And let's see. So we have a deck here, 15 ground units, 9 space, and a couple of events. So we can save and close. And then it allows you from here, you can play games. We'll just play one game. Tabletop Simulator is not the most, I think, entertaining to watch. We did get a 1-drop, not our favorite. So we're going to mulligan this just to see what it looks like. We will resource our Sudden Ferocity as we go through our cards. And our 5-drop for now. We're going to try and go a little lower. They play a unit. We will play our unit here. We're going to choose to play this one as a 1 cost. It does actually go decently well with Yularine's ability. We wish we had more of them, but they decide to trade. I think in that case, we will finish it off and get our spy token. They have another one. We'll take initiative. And they're able to boost their guy. So I like what they're doing. We have the Let's Call It War. I don't want to continue to be on the defensive, but I think that that's the spot we're in. So I think the first thing I do is... I think I have to swing. I think I have to do that. They might reveal to boost. Okay, so they did that. So that's actually... This will allow us to catch back up on the board. And we will call it war, and we'll do 2 damage there. And they have to claim. So the Let's Call It War came in handy. Another Unveiled Might. We will want to plot out, I think, one of our cards here. So let's go ahead and resource here. We're going to flip our leader. And we want the Sudden Ferocity. And so now our Yularen is 7/6, which is great. And we'll be able to... I'm not sure why that costs 4. But why did that cost 4? Do they make sudden? Okay. It should have cost 3, I think. But I accidentally clicked too many. We probably don't need 2 of these in space. Let's start to build some ground presence. They'll trade the Yularen. We will play our trooper. We will buff it up. And we'll take the initiative. So they play some upgrades on their leader, really boosting it. So we'll boost our guy up. They'll trade out there. Let's get our attack in. Because we're now going to be able to have 2 units in space that equal 9 damage. They'll be able to play the hounds and ready them. And so they're actually catching up in damage pretty quickly. We don't need a second Crucible. We'll go ahead and attack. We would like to have seen one of our bigger ground units, but we're not seeing them right now. So I think they'll be able to quickly finish us off with what they're doing on the ground. And they have a lot of upgrades, which is great for them. And this is where I think this system can be poor. Normally they would not trade there, right? They would just hit their 7 to base. They would not mess with our units on the ground. They have the victory. But you can see here we'll put things on the ground. They have all the cards they need to win. Okay, so they do decide to finish it off. So good job to them. I think that when we think about that, what just happened, we might rethink the Sabe red piece here. Either way, we didn't end up with enough turn ones. It felt a little uncomfortable on all sides. But that's kind of how you can mess around with this system and build out a kind of a sealed deck. So let's look at what it could be on the other side. So if you can leave this, you can play more matchups if you want. You can leave it. You can go back, and now you can do a draft. So I think the draft is super interesting. Here you start with 3 leaders for a draft, and then you pass. You pick one, you pass 2. I like Sly in draft mode, so I'm going to pick Sly, and then I get 2 leaders to pick from. I like Leia a lot as well. I think it gives you a lot of options. And then we'll take Lamasu. So we end up with our 3 leaders here. We'll probably be looking at what we can build with Sly or Leia, and while keeping it a little neutral to start. So this is our first pack we're opening. I do think that there are some strong cards here, but I don't know if we want to commit to a side yet. So I think that the Gonk droid here can be very powerful to up tempo. So I'm going to take that first. And you can see I got past another one, and I'm looking through these cards, and I don't need to commit yet. The only thing I've committed to now is it's probably green as the second color. So when we think about what we want to do with blue or yellow and green, I think that a Space Sentinel can be good. Again, it's neutral. And now we have to start thinking about what we want. And I think the Cornet's very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. And I'm starting to see where, okay. So it looks like I'm going green, blue, hero. So here I'm kind of I like having a plot ambush. I think Kino can be good, but we're going to go with the plot ambush to kind of fill out our curve, assuming we can get there. And it makes me feel like the shadow crawler. So this first set of packs is really setting up to be our top end with this 6/6 Sentinel as well. And so we're going to have to think about in future pieces how to build the bottom. I do actually like the Senator's Aid here because I think it's an easy one to add tokens to with Leia. Let's see. Attached unit. If you do, the attacker gets -2. I think more than anything, what I like is just the 2/2 for 2. So we'll go ahead and pick that up to boost one of our units. When played, create a spy token or the Space Sentinel. I like the when played because the spy token is very easy to boost with Leia. There was also a draw card in there, which was nice. And we'll go with this 3 cost. It has 2 aspects, but we'll deal with it. And maybe we'll put that in our sideboard because it'll let us get an attachment. So after 1 pack, we've got some great green, and they're only single aspects, so they have a lot of boost ability. We ended up with a lot of blue hero and no blue neutral. So we'll be looking for some blue neutral in this pack. And we start off with Lobot. Lobot's a great choice. So is the sponsor, but I think Lobot with Sentinel and boost, there's actually a lot of great cards for us in here, but we're going to start with Lobot because I think a 2-cost Sentinel will be nice. And then this pack, I want Retaliation. I think that it can really come in handy on that 5-drop. I think it's an important card for any of these decks. I want to make sure we have enough one drops or first turn plays. And because this is always going to become a 1/4 in Leia, that can be a 3/4, or I think I'll definitely grab that. The Naboo official is pretty interesting. So is here. We're going to grab this because that becomes a 2/4 right away, right? So getting a lot of value out of Leia with these types of cards. We have a choice here for our 3 cost, an Overwhelm that can be boosted, or our 4 cost Restore if you have an official. And we're looking through, we have a 3. We have 2 3s. We don't have a 4 cost. So we're actually going to lean 4 here to make sure we pick up something on curve there. We have our plot friend again, 5 for a 4/5. We have 5 for a 6/5 and 5 for a 5/5. So I think in this case we'll go with this one. On Leia's turn, you can boost it. And as this came around to us, we have our 3rd Gonk Droid. So that's looking pretty nice. I do like the Heroic Arc to get more space presence. I also like the Heal 3, Deal 3. So if we can get that card later, I think that's another nice 4-drop. And we made it back down to around to our starter. We'll grab another 2-drop with Restore here. We already have 1 Space Sentinel. I think a second one is nice, but we don't need it yet. And then if an opponent controls an upgrade, Thunderous Applause, I think we'll go here to make sure that we're continuing to build out. And then a 3/5 or the 2/3 or the Ambush Plot. I think we'll go with this one. Now in the next pack, if we get, this is a great one right here. We're so glad that the Royal Ship came back to us. Another 4 cost. And then we pick up the Commando. So I think our curve is starting to build out really nicely. And here we are with our Dressling Commandos as well. And we already have more than enough cards, I think, to make almost enough cards to make our deck with for a lot of first turn plays into a decent curve here. And this Leia deck is really starting to look nice. We're on to our next pack. So we really need to think about what we want to fill out our deck. I think both the Grassroots Resistance and the Rebel Pathfinder are good here. Even this 6 cost. But with the last Grassroots Resistance being passed around a bit, we're thinking in the draft, maybe it'll make it back to us. So we're going to take another 2-drop. And now from here, I think we'll focus more on some bigger units. We'll take a Cornet for sure. For that space piece. And actually, we'll take this for more top end. We like the Heroic Arcs. We have a lot of decisions to make. And this is the one we're looking for. We boost our other officials, so we're really happy to see that. And Mina is amazing. Both of these are very good. I think Mina is going to feel really good in our deck. And then we only have 1 choice here, so that's not our best pack. I think that the official or this guy, I think we'll go here for a 4/3 that we can boost with pretty much anything else in our deck. And then we do get the Security Force into the Space Sentinel. So actually we're going to have an interesting opportunity to build a sideboard with what we're doing. That card won't be used. We'll grab another one of these. I don't think we'll need all of them either. Nice A-Wing we won't be using. And then Renewed Friendship could be good. And then so let's see our draft pool. We have 12 command cards, 7 heroism, which including the Mina, which is great. Cunning will skip past. I think on the vigilance side, we got some good cards here, and then we did end up with 4 populous champions and 3 cornets. And then these heroism cards. So I think we'll be able to build a very nice deck here. We'll go with Leia. Change the view, and we're going to make it green. And so let's think about our curve. We know we want the 3 Gonks, the Lobot, the Mina. the Rebel Pathfinder, and I think we like the Senators here. And this we want to make sure that we have enough in the Restore as well. So there's 10 2-drops, right? So then our threes, we got one here. We'll come back to that if we want it. The Populous Champions are 3/5s and are not duplicated. So let's put them all in for now. And that's our 3-drops. Into our 4s on the ground. We did not end up with any 4 on the ground. So we go to 5. We have our Assembly, our 2 plot ambushers into our 6 and 7s. So 21 ground units in total. That might be overkill. Let's see what we did in space. We do have our 4-drops are basically all space units, right? Possibly plot. So there's 4 of those. We like the cornets. We like 2 space sentinels that we can curve into. We have a 3rd one if there's a heavy space opponent that we can bring. And we have 1 upgrade, and then we have 2 here. We want the retaliation in for sure. And then I think that's probably how we'll go. We'll go heavy ground early. We'll be able to use our tokens. We have the right aspect pieces, it looks like, to build it out. And let's check it out. We'll play a game with it. And we got a double yellow sly. And despite having 10 turn 1s, we did not get one here, so we will mulligan. And then here's, I think, a much stronger one. There's a lot of Restore in our hand. We know we have more of these Populous. And we have more of our 4-drops in space, so we'll go ahead and resource there. We're lighter on 5, so we're hesitant, I think, to go too deep. And that's okay. They did not need to do that. Okay, so we'll put our plot space card. Or no, we want to make sure we have something on 4, right? So I think what we'll do here is we will action ability Leia. We'll disclose here to give this a token. They will boost that up. We'll go ahead and attack base for 2. And you can see this Lobot can get out of hand, right? And then we'll get some Restore on board. And we'll pass. So even though we don't have a lot of 4-drops, we drew into both of them. We have a choice here where we can continue to pump these up or put one of our 4-drops out. We do have a damaged unit. I don't think we need to do anything with that yet. I think in this case, I will action ability again. I will disclose and put another token here. I will go ahead and attack. I will play this senator. I'll attack again. And so we're building out a really nice wall. We have a lot of Restore going. Our space is getting strong. I meant to put the Naboo Starfighter down. I'll do that next turn. We're not super worried about what they're doing. I think here we'll attack with our Lobot. They'll ready resources. We'll attack with our Senator. We'll restore all the damage we took. We will attack. That's restoring 4 now, so very powerful combo if you can get it. And they're able to kill off our Lobot, and we'll play out our assembly. And we'll take initiative. I think in this case, we're going to play the Dharma here. First, we'll action ability. I did it again. We'll give an experience token. We'll give it there. Sure. I think in this case, we'll attack here to kill their leader. Let's get an attack in. And you can see keeping these singular hero or the singular green and blue cards are letting us every time be able to pump our units, which is one of the things we want. I should have attacked there. I was talking through that instead. We'll play this out. I will play the Nubu out. I think we would have had it this turn if we just attacked in the right sequencing, but you can see how powerful that was. We get to disclose here and swing for 7. And they played another card, and we'll take initiative, and that'll be the game. So they wouldn't have played another card there, but also we're able to develop a big board, pump all of our units, and you can see why Leia is considered one of the better leaders and how we were able to put together a very nice deck based on the cards that were coming out. Okay, so that's kind of how you can utilize these sites. Again, this is Force Table, which I highly recommend. You can go in. It lets you do a lot of great prep work. It's a $5 a month matchup. You can also do a Twin Suns 1v1. I'm not sure what that looks like, but you can open packs and just get that practice. You can play matches if you want. And then SWU system is similar. So you can do draft or sealed with that one. And you just start a sealed event. And in this one, they just give you everything all at once. And then you can build your deck from there. Some of the draft, I think, elements of this site aren't as accurate as like the pattern that it's supposed to follow, but this still gives you a good idea of like, okay, I'm going to get 6 leaders. I'm going to get some set of cards. How would I put it together? And then this is the one where you can export them and play. So I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do more prep work, maybe some live stuff as we get closer to Milwaukee. Appreciate everyone watching. Have a great day. Like and subscribe.